The day before the game, Ohio State's 7th-ranked men's basketball team, a 99-64 win over North Florida. Aaron Craft, 16 points, 5 assists for the victory. Football team is already bussed to Ann Arbor, where they wait tomorrow's noon kickoff. Mark has more in our Buckeye Beat.
Urban Meyer says he might talk to his team about the 1969 game, while Brady Hoke did show the Wolverines that streak-ending upset, even if they say their focus is on winning, not spoiling.
We were more so just focused on ourselves, and like I said, we're focused on giving it our best shot, putting ourselves with our week of preparation in our best position to be successful in the football game.
This game has always been different in some ways. Are they a good football team? Yeah, they're a very good football team. Do we have to play better than we've played? I don't think there's any doubt about that, and we've got to be more consistent. And we got to finish things better. But it's what makes it so much fun.
Greg Madison is Michigan's defensive coordinator, and Meyer has a lot of respect for his former assistant.
Obviously, I'm very close with the D coordinator, and I think he's a great coach. And they're playing very hard. They got excellent players. So whatever issues the rival has, it has nothing to do with their defense. Their defense is playing at a very, very high level. And we have to play our best game to move the ball against these guys.
That's the Big Ten for you right there. Good D lines, tough linebackers, and we're going into it with smash mouth mentality. And if you want to go on the road and win a big rivalry game in the Big Ten, you gotta bring your rushing attack. So I think that's something we take pride in, and hopefully when we go up there, we're prepared for everything they have.
The Buckeyes are also saying all the right things about the struggling Michigan offense, which only had 158 yards last week at Iowa.
The thing that is kind of crazy to me is that they're having struggles because they have good players on both sides of the ball, especially on the offensive side, and that's why they went there. And with Jeremy Gallen and Devin Gardner and those type of guys, I know they're good athletes. So with them struggling right now, I'm just kind of surprised. But I know with us going up there, they're gonna try to play the best.
Of course, the game this year after Thanksgiving, the 20th time Ohio State and Michigan have played after Turkey Day. And amazingly, the series is 9-9-1 when played after Thanksgiving. Mike Miller from WIMA 1150, our Buckeye Insider, joins us. Not just another one of those stats on this series that is all, even up at this point, and whoever wins on Saturday will start tipping it back in their favor as Ohio State looking very good. Certainly, we don't think there's going to be a focus issue going up to Ann Arbor from what we saw and heard leading up to this game.
Oh, you're absolutely right. How can there be a focus issue? And it's the Michigan game, for crying out loud. It's why these kids. It's one of the reasons these guys come to Ohio State to play against Michigan. And think about it. All good teams, really any team with any success at all, they take their cues from their coach. And now, second full year with Coach Urban Meyer, he's all about rivalry. Michigan is the OSU rival. There, I said the word, but I'm not with the team, so I can get away with that. And you're right, focus is not an issue. I think the Buckeyes are chomping at the bit, Mark, to be back in a big stage game.
Speaking of chomping at the bit, there are some Michigan fans that are chomping at the bit to make a change. Maybe not necessarily a Brady Hoke change, but certainly a change. Offensive coordinator Al Borges. And, Brady Hoke had a great first year at Michigan. There's no denying that, using Rich Rodriguez as players. Last 2 years, not so good as they've had to transition in from the spread attack that Rich Rodriguez was trying to implement to more of a pro style, which is what Brady Hoke emphasizes. Rich Rodriguez is now down at Arizona, and some very interesting numbers came to light this week. Since Rich Rod went to Arizona in 2012, Michigan and Arizona had the exact same record. They're both 15-9. Arizona's record against the AP, 3-6. Michigan's record against AP-ranked teams, 1-5. Arizona 2-1 against the top 10. Michigan 0-2. A lot of people might start to be wondering, was firing Rich Rodriguez and bringing in Brady Hoke a mistake?
Well, I think one of the brewing questions is it a mistake to push a guy after 3 years, which actually would serve to allow Brady Hoke to stick around for another year? Nobody seems to think he's going to get pushed. I think that's a legitimate question. Allow a coach to take it through a full recruiting class of 4 years and then see where they're at their fourth and final year. And Rich Rodriguez very likely could have benefited from that Michigan team that was generally all his personnel that won a Sugar Bowl, albeit against a not that respected Virginia Tech team. So no question, Michigan may be taking some of the ills of pushing out that prior regime a year too early.
Another one of those interesting numbers that came out is you look at the Ohio State and Michigan records since Ohio State beat Michigan in 2006. It's a large gap between the wins Ohio State has had in that time and Michigan has had in that time. Last year, Ohio State came into the game undefeated. It was a similar team to Michigan, although a little bit more dangerous offensively, certainly with Denard Robinson, but there was question marks about the Michigan offense. And remember, Michigan led last year 21-20 at half, got shut out in the second half. All the Buckeyes got in the second half last year were a pair of field goals. It was only a 26-21 victory for Ohio State. But Urban Meyer looks back at last year, even though they went undefeated last year, and you can tell Urban Meyer knows his team is much, much better than it was a year ago.
Well, because it is. I mean, it's the Ohio State offense is just eons better than it was last year. The Buckeyes are going to get points Saturday that they wouldn't have got last year and didn't really get in last year's game, just because they're multiple, the balance with their offensive attack. And quite frankly, Carlos Hyde and Braxton Miller are much better players than they were last year.
Your prediction for Saturday at the Big House?
I think things are going to go pretty well, frankly, for the Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday. And I think maybe the biggest surprise is going to be the Buckeye defense being as effective or more effective than a lot of people believe. The offense is going to put some points on the board. It's going to be a big win for the Buckeyes, 44-17.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Of course, we will go to Ann Arbor with the team on Saturday. Saturday night during Sports Report, we'll have a Buckeye Insider segment and then a full half hour of highlights, analysis, and post-game interviews that you'll be able to see several times Sunday on WOSN. Andy, back to you.